story, Vince?
Daisy, or not Daisy, kind of looked like Daisy, but Michael and I lived here, and our dog Taxi was a very rambunctious dog and got very excited like a lot of dogs do when we got home. I got home. It has one of those old-time deadbolts, and I guess when she heard us coming down the hall, she would always like go up in the door, and she must have hit the deadbolt and locked it. And once you lock it from the inside, you can't use a key to unlock it, so there's no way to get in.
Right.
So we asked the concierge, if he had any ladders so we could get up and try and get in like one of those doors or through the window. And he said he had a ladder. He knew where there was a ladder. We waited at another people we knew had an apartment here. Well, a few people we knew had an apartment here, but they were home, and we went and visited while we waited. All of a sudden, we hear these fire trucks coming. We're like, oh, there must be a fire nearby. And they stop right here. So we come out, and there's the concierge, and all of a sudden he starts pointing at me, and he's going all excited, and saying that's the guy. So the firemen come over to me and say, did you call the fire department? And I'm like, no. At first they asked, what happened? And I said, well, my dog locked the door and I can't get into the apartment. And so they said, did you think you left the stove on or something? And I said, no. And they said, well, I should have called the fire department somewhere. And I was like, oh, I can call. So they said, well, you seem like a nice guy, we'll help you out. And so then they put a ladder up. They went up to try and see if they could get the balcony door open or open through one of the windows, because one of the windows was open. But it had that permanent mesh, and they won't destroy anything unless there's an emergency, right?
Right.
So they said, well, we can't do it, but you can go up and destroy that if you want. So I had to climb up the ladder and go through the mesh. And of course, Taxi's in there all excited to see me. And everybody by this time was all on their balconies on the street. And everybody, as soon as I go in there, all cheering. And I was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed.